Hi friends, it's Sarah from rufflesandrainboots.com. Let's make a miniature teacup gnome in less than 10 minutes. If you'd like to make him with me, just boop, stick around. As always, please give this video a like so I know you're here. And as always, I'm going to show you the front, the back, the center, everything. I left my top disassociated from the bottom, but you can affix yours. All right, so this is a miniature teacup and saucer I got at the thrift store. I'm going to be using that as well as this also I got at the thrift store, which is a small jar. And one side is flat and one side's bumpy. This is some wool roving. You can use faux fur. You can get this on Amazon or craft stores. And then you'll need some kind of fabric and something for a nose. I'm using a halfback wood, maybe 1/2 inch round. Okay, so you won't need the lid to that either. But if you have these on hand, you can also cut the bottom off of a styrofoam egg, and that is perfect. You will need to affix it to the saucer in order to be able to hold the weight of the cup. You can also do the same idea with the Dollar Tree cone. You're just going to cut off the bottom and the top and affix it so you get that middle piece, and then it'll stay there. We don't need the jar lid. We do need an inch or so of a little tiny piece of something round. You can use a ping pong ball, you can use a styrofoam ball, but it's just so that we have a nice little thing where we can tip it back and it brings out the face. Okay? That's it for my supplies. Oh, I'm also going to be using scissors and some kind of hot glue something. So this is the Surebonder pen, and this is the detail tip glue gun. I'm gonna just take guesses right now in the comments. What do you think is my favorite? The pen is already leaking. All right, so the first step is obviously to clean these up. I'm just using like Dawn Power Wash because it's nice and gentle. I always look at the labels as well to make sure that I'm not crafting with something that's a collector's item or, is like akin to winning the lottery. So always check your labels. You can actually now just snap a picture of the label and find it online. So you can use felt for this, especially if you want to keep the jar portion open. Like if you want like a little mini treat jar and you just want to cover up the bottom, you can absolutely do that with a little bit of felt. You're going to pleat it, maybe tie it at the top. But I'm going to be using this. It's just a fat quarter of cotton fabric. It's really thin. Actually, you can see it's got lots of wrinkles, and all I'm going to do is that. That's how we're going to, we're going to make it prettier. I promise. We don't need the whole fat quarter, so I'm just making sure I'm cutting a square of fabric that is long enough or wide enough to actually just tuck in the edges. That's it. And how I got that is I just tucked in the edge to find out where. Now you do want a little bit of overlap because we're going to pleat it to make it look fancy because it's a teacup. All right, so faux fur or wool roving will work. I'm just matching. I had this from Daiso Japan for a hot minute, so I just want to use it. You can get this at the craft store. You can get it on Amazon. You can use a scrap of faux fur, whatever you've got, yarn brushed out, a pom-pom cut apart. So I put that in my HDV Ront heat press so it could have less wrinkles. I want to be in charge of the wrinkles. So as I mentioned, my jar here, so it's designed to tip, right? I'm going to cover that flat part up with the beard, and I want the nice, the rounded bit to be sort of a nice booty for the gnome, back end. I'm going to speed this portion up, but it took me 36 seconds to basically shove all that in. Now on the back side, I am going to make sure these pleats are kind of cute, and on the sides, but the front, we're just going to fold it over because it's just going to be ugly anyway, and like that big cross in the center, and then we'll cover it up. There we go. And you can make your sides flat if you want. I have like a little bit of ruching. I like it that way, but you do what makes you happy. This is a literally quick 10-minute craft. I love going to the thrift store, y'all. I always find something I don't need, but I really wanted, if that makes sense. Let me know down below your best thrift store find. I don't actually know. I'm gonna have to think about what mine is. All right, just making sure we got that nice booty shot. And now we're going to try for the very first time. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. Move your hand. Okay, so that's hot. Just FYI. So if you're gonna try this, mine's not working so well. It's the very first time I've used it, so it's probably got to load the glue. And here is where I get really frustrated because it's the most inconsistent form of like thing. So I grab my very trusty detail tip glue gun that I can easily control. So here's the thing. A lot of people have asked me about this pen. I am going to give the hot glue pen another go, but I think the design is flawed because it's hot. If you move your hand just a little bit in the wrong direction, which is easy to do. All right, so don't cut wool roving, just like faux fur. This one you can actually just pull apart. Look how pretty it is. It's just nice. I don't need that much, so I'm going to pull apart, but you can also just fold it under a couple times. Now, you can glue it and fold it under, just like this, and then glue it on. You have to glue it in layers. Or you can get out your Stabby McStabbykins kit, which I love. It's very cathartic. Just take one of your needles. A medium needle is good. Stab it into a foam pad and work out all those aggressions. Look how easy it is coming together. So I am going to speed this portion up as well so you can see. I just stabbed it at the very top. You can see it all along there. And now I'm going to take a little wispy piece for a mustache, because why not? I'm going to twist it together, combine it, and then stab that in place as well. And then that way I'll just have a nice little thing to attach. And you can glue or attach. If you're going to attach it, now would be a good time before you glue it on. But if you've already applied glue, you don't want to pop your needle through those. So, all right, I'm just pulling off the little extra pieces here. You can see mine is all nice and pressed. And now I'm just going to see where I want that beard to fall. And then I'm going to glue it on with some hot glue. That's it. Hey, do you know that if you wanted to build this all on felt, you could just build the beard onto felt and then glue the felt onto your jar? Isn't that cool? All right, getting a placement here for the little mustache, and I'm just going to glue that on. Again, don't stab through your glue if you can help it. You'll just break your needle. And I just hovered over to get the placement of my little nose. It would look really cute with a wool roving nose as well. I've shared how to do that on the channel. Just roll up some wool roving and stab it till it's a little oval. All right, so now I'm just going to take a minute to fuss, because that's the best part of this. And now I'm just going to get an idea for placement and put the most generous portion of hot glue on this thing. Now I am using a single temperature hot glue gun, but you can actually use a low temperature hot glue gun. I need more glue. I just decided, I mean, it's attached at the very top, but I need to put glue in the front. That's where mine is going to sit, because I want it to kind of sit backwards. So I ripped it off and I put it here instead. And then I held that for a good 30-35 seconds, because that is my happy place and I want to make sure it didn't come off. And then for me, I'm just going to place mine on here. This is going on the top of a tiered tray because it is a mini. I would love to hear what you think. Oh, that's it, by the way. You can add flowers, you can add whatever decorations you want, but for me, this was a quick 10-minute craft. I hope you liked it. Let me know down in the comments if you enjoyed it. Be sure to sign up for the newsletter. Next week's pattern is only free for subscribers.